Retired Life. Wish you were here. I'm Kim Lee, your host. And if you've ever looked around in retirement and thought, now what? You're in the right place. This show is where we kick off our shoes, pour a cup of coffee or something stronger, and talk about what it really means to live well after the career chapter closes. Today, we're joined by Glenda Cato, living proof that at 76, you can still leave the kids in the dust. Glenda isn't just defying age, she's redefining it with infectious energy and a sparkling sense of humor. As the owner of Fit, her thriving weight loss clinic, she's made it her mission to help people embrace a new normal of health and vitality while having a great laugh along the way. Glenda, you're like a fine wine that just gets better with age. Energized, vibrant, and always ready with a funny story. We're excited to hear how you keep up with that youthful spark, what motivated you to launch Fit, and maybe a few tips on outrunning our grandchildren, and you have 11.
I do.
Welcome to the Retired Life Podcast.
Thank you.
We're
Thank
thrilled to have you here.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So, at 76,
Tuesday.
That's right, 76.
On Tuesday.
I'm jumping it. 76.
No, I was 76 this past Tuesday.
You have incredible energy and look fantastic. Absolutely look fantastic. What has been your secret to staying so vibrant?
I would say number one is a positive attitude. I know it sounds corny, but every day I say it's the best day ever, and I truly mean it. It's not perfect, but it works, and it's very contagious. I have my employees saying it every day when I walk in, and I think attitude has a lot to do with it. Plus, I want to live to be 120, and I'm going to be kicking and screaming all the way there.
Have you always been focused on health and wellness, or was there a turning point in your life?
I would say probably in my 40s, I started really looking at nutrition and ways to stay young. I've always been on vitamins. I have 4 children, so I started on vitamins early and could tell a sizable difference when I started on vitamins. So then I realized that, okay, they do make a difference. It's not just expensive urine. As people say.
I don't think I've heard that one, but
yes,
I
they
can go
say,
with
well,
that.
yeah. But and then I in 2005 got into the medical weight loss business from a friend asking me to do it. She was going to one and loved it, and we opened one up in Destin, Florida, and that was in October of 2005. And then I started really getting into, well, let's treat the source instead of the symptoms. I don't want to treat that wrinkle. I want to keep you from getting that wrinkle. And how do I do that? So I started researching. And I'm not a doctor or a scientist or a nurse, but I study the bejeepers out of what I do.
So how has that approach changed over the years, or has it moved to treating the source?
I think it has. Of course, when the internet started and everybody's online looking, watching at everything that comes out, and there's 1,000 different opinions. Everybody has an opinion. So what I would do is I would get on a kick of, let's say vitamin C, and then I would research Europe, China, everywhere to find out what is the best source, how much you should take, what does it really do for the body, and that kind of started me. And then I got into the minerals, and then how people aren't doing minerals like they should, because we are 98% minerals, and people just don't realize that. So they were taking their vitamins, but then they were having issues with their joints and different things like that. And then I said, well, have you taken selenium? Have you taken zinc? And they'll look at me like, what? And then I would send them the data. And that kind of got me started. And truthfully, I just get excited. When I find something new that works, I try it on myself first.
And then you give it to me.
And then I give it to you.
I have all these little packages.
Yes.
Try this.
Try this. And I try it first because I don't want to be that person that just, hey, try it, let's see how we do. And I just think it's fun sharing it. And my whole family thinks I'm a little bit crazy, but then they're laughing all the way to not going to the doctor because they're healthier now.
So picking your brain, what daily habits do you have that make the biggest difference in this long term? What let's get down to it.
Really? You want to hear the nitty gritty?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Every morning I get up and I say, thank you, universe. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my children. I am open and receptive to receive an abundance of wealth coming in my door, coming in my business. And my guardian angels, please watch over me. So I say that every day. Now, whether you're religious, you can say it to God, you can say it, whoever. I pick the universe because I feel like everything is in the universe.
So how do you keep this positive mindset? I mean, things happen. There's a lot
I
that
have
goes
to talk to
on.
myself constantly.
Have a good lecture.
Yes, I go, okay, Glenda, and owning a business with employees is like having children. And, I've had a few issues here and there with employees like everybody else does. But you have to realize that you just have to move on. I learn something new every day. Every day I learn something new. And I take that and store it and hope to use it.
Okay, what's one habit? I'm going to find out the secret here.
Okay.
What's one habit you've maintained for years that you swear by?
Taking my vitamins at night before I go to bed.
Do you take them at night? You don't take any in the morning?
I take some in the morning, but I take the majority of them at night because, number one, you're sleeping to repair the body. And if the nutrients and the vitamins are there during that repair process, it's not competing with energy. You take them in the morning, still good, but you're not going to receive all of the benefit because you're working and you're walking and you're talking and your body uses that energy. So at night you're sleeping and when the repair process, that way you get 100% of whatever you're taking. And that's been and I started that way because when I was 4 children, I could never remember to take them, so I put them on my nightstand. And then I researched and found out that it was actually good for you. So it was like, yay, I'm doing something right.
Are you taking a multi or are you just...
I take a multi. I take lion's mane for memory. I take a cayenne pepper pill because I like spicy food, but not cayenne pepper. And I take a magnesium so that I can sleep.
So a lot of people think aging means slowing down. What do you have to say about that?
I think that's BS. I think if you keep yourself healthy with a mental attitude and take care of yourself, we're like Lamborghinis. If you stop giving a Lamborghini oil or water, what happens to it? It deteriorates. We are Lamborghinis. So you got to keep up the vitamins and the minerals. Minerals are very important. People forget about minerals. And keep that positive. And the other thing is staying active. I can dance. I can get on the dance floor and dance for 6 hours.
You definitely can.
I can. I'm a dancer. So I should say that I exercise every day, but I'd be lying if I told you I did. I do a lot of walking. I'm just very active. And then I do a lot of stretching. I'm a stretcher. At night before I go to bed, I'm stretching, and whoever my date is kind of looks at me strange, but that's okay.
So what are you going to tell people that say, I'm too old to start this now?
I don't say that.
Well, you don't, but what do we tell them? How do we tell them to change that mindset?
Well, it's positive thoughts. Just don't go into it thinking you can't. Try it. At least give it a try.
A little.
And
Just
go
start
and baby
somewhere.
steps. Start with baby steps, but nobody said that you're dead at 70 or 60 or 50. And I think the world now is changing because every podcast or everything you see on the internet is all about these new vitamins. And I will tell you, I started taking liquid vitamins about a year ago, and I've been able to tell a difference because I take creatine, which is your body's response to healing, especially after working out, and NAD, which is my favorite. I do a shot of that each week, and then I take it liquid. And NAD builds the mitochondria of every cell. Remember I told you I wanted to treat the source? Mm-hmm. So the mitochondria...
It's tiny.
Tiny. Mitochondria is the battery of every cell in everybody's body. You're born with it, but as we age, it depletes. So NAD is the one thing I would say, if you don't take anything else, do NAD. It creates it from the inside out. And if every cell is healthy, guess what? Your body's going to be healthy.
So somebody starting on this journey, what do they start? Do they start with the vitamins? Do they start with, do they do the whole thing at one time? Vitamins, stretching?
I would, but that's me. I'm a high energy person.
And you've been doing it for a while.
I have been doing it for a while.
But we have a lot of people.
But at least start out with a multivitamin. Get a good multivitamin. And the other problem with multivitamins is absorption. And I have a friend that has a porta potty business. I don't know if I should tell you this.
Yes.
He called me up one day and said, Glenda, I want you to come out here. I'm thinking, what? So I go out there, and the porta potties, they steam clean.
Mm-hmm.
And at the bottom, everything goes down to this trough. And he said, now come here. And I walked around to the back of the porta potties, and the size of this room was vitamins that people had pooped out, basically. So Nene saying, he said, listen, I know you do vitamins, but look, nobody's absorbing these things. Now, that was 10 years ago. So I started researching, and I found the vitamins that we have in our clinic are 100% absorbable. Number one, you get your benefits that you want. Number two, you're getting your money's worth because you're paying for nothing.
So are these liquid vitamins?
No, I take a pill. Now, I started taking some liquids over the last year, but I still take the multivitamin that fit cells because I know it works. And people that get on it call me and tell me within 3 days, oh my goodness, my energy level is crazy. So it does make a difference. It does make a difference.
What do people get wrong about aging and staying fit?
Just giving up, just thinking they can't. I think, just as I said earlier, I think mental attitude is probably number one. If you go into something thinking you can't do it, then what are you going to do? So they need to be open-minded, and the other thing that might be a deterrent is money. That they're not cheap, but you can still even just go to the drugstore and get a excellent multivitamin with minerals that is colloidal. Colloidal means that your body absorbs it.
Okay.
Colloidal is that word you wanted.
So remember that word.
Colloidal. It's a good word. So, but start out with a multivitamin. And some people can't take the pills. Well, then we have it in liquid form. So take a liquid.
So creating the new normal with fit wellness, how does that all play in the new normal? That's
Well, I think every time you get online, there's somebody preaching about working out or doing this or taking this vitamin or taking this mineral and mental attitude. And you've known me for a long time, and I've always been an active person. I'm very every day is the best day ever, and I don't care how corny that sounds. I still say it every day. I think attitude number one. I keep going back to that. And being old doesn't mean you're dead.
So do you think your approach is different than a traditional weight loss?
I don't know if it's different. I just think it's contagious when my clients come in the door, and I hug everybody. I'm a hugger, as you know. And when they do great, I go out and hug them, and they say, I just never really thought I could do this, but thank you for inspiring me. So being inspired is having a buddy with you. Say you want to start losing weight, get your best friend to do it with you. They have proven, or your husband. If you get a buddy or somebody that can go along your journey with you, it seems to help.
Hold you accountable?
Yes, yes. And that's one thing about my business. When people pay their hard-earned money to come in, and they've decided they want to lose weight, and all of our fit employees are huggers, and we're very positive, but basically you see them coming in each week, their waist is getting smaller, their smiles are getting bigger, they have this little zip in their doodah. You can see the change, and that's why I'm going on my 20th year business, because it's so rewarding. And some people listen to me and some people don't, but I don't worry about that.
So how would you help someone create a long-lasting habit rather than the short-term fix, which is what typically happens? You lose your weight, you gain your weight, you lose your weight.
People do that, and I have to say we have a lot of restarts, which is good for business, but it's not, truthfully. But it is, again, you've got to have that attitude. If you've made that decision to lose weight, you're halfway there. You've made the decision to do it, and then you get there, and you pay somebody your hard-earned money. So that helps as well. I mean, I'm just going to be honest, and I want it to be worth their while. You want to get results, and we get results because we're positive. We put them on. We tell them about protein. You've got to have protein because we are protein, and we make sure everybody's on a vitamin. And we greet them with a smiling face and tell them they can do it.
So what are some of the common misconceptions about weight loss and wellness? And I know it kind of goes, if you lose the weight, you're going to have a better chance of not getting diabetes. Or
Correct.
I know that, but what are some of these falsehoods
About losing weight or not?
about the weight loss and wellness?
Well,
They do seem to be.
we have seen people getting off diabetes medication. We've seen people getting off a high blood pressure medication. We have seen people that have started walking where they haven't walked in forever. The other key is water, 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 water. And you can put a little flavoring in it, but a gallon a day is what we recommend. And that's been the biggest.
That's the hardest.
People go, and I tell them, get a big thing, get a straw. For some reason,
And my husband, he's always given me a bottle of water. I
Yes.
walk in the door.
Here's
he's
your
like,
water.
Drink.
Smart man. Smart man. The bottom line, if you're not hydrated, your body won't perform, period. So, and there's so many side effects from not drinking enough water. Your kidneys are having issues. Your bladder has issues because it builds up bacteria that you need to be flushing out. So the water, I would say, is probably number one, or at least a gallon of liquids. Everybody comes back and says, oh my God, I couldn't drink my water. And I go, well, put a straw in it and just know that you're going to live longer if you do. And they go, okay. So water is essential, or like I said, some type of liquid that doesn't have sugar, fat, or calories.
So your program emphasizes ongoing support. Why is this so important for success?
Well, we have a thing that is called Forever Fit. Once you become our client, then you go into the status of Forever Fit. And we have them, they can come in once a month and get weighed, and we give them a free B18 shot, which is a B6 and a B12. And that's the other thing I do. Every week for the last 20 years, I've gotten a B6, B12 shot every week. And everybody said, well, after they've been taken, I really can't tell any difference. I said, get off of it for a week. So they'll go on vacation, and they'll come back after that 10th day like, oh, my God, I couldn't walk up the mountain. And then I realized that I hadn't had my B shot. So not everybody gets that same effect, as you know. Some people might have an allergy to it, but very rarely. But B vitamins and that B shot helps, and also you want to eat protein.
So why do you think your regular weekly maintenance program works?
Because it's regular weekly maintenance. Just being truthful. We'll get on the phone with them and give them my pep talk. And the bottom line is, I love what I'm doing. I love sharing good information. And I don't tell you anything unless I have researched the heck out of it and know that what I'm telling you is the truth.
Yes, I know you've given me little packets of salt.
Celtic salt, to be sure.
Yes, Celtic salt.
Makes a difference.
What is that? What is that doing?
Well, Celtic salt has 109 of your 111 minerals that your body needs every day.
So I don't need to take.
You do need to take it. And what I do is
the Celtic
yes.
salt. I'm taking it.
Yes.
What about all the other mineral supplements?
Well, they're good too, but this is one thing that what I do is I get up in the morning and I put 2 or 3 of because it's a chunky salt, and I put 3, 4 crystals on my tongue, and I let them dissolve, and then I drink a glass of water after that. And that way your glands absorb it quickly and it goes to the spots that it needs to go. And then I still take my multivitamins and things, because during the day you're working that off, and getting older, it's harder to maintain those levels. So you've got to up them up, just like with anything else. And that's been the trick. I mean, instead of taking 1 teaspoon of something, I take 2, because turning 76, I'm kicking and screaming all the way to 120. So I've got to, so you've got to increase it because your body needs it, because it's not producing it like it did when you were younger.
Absolutely.
And as we know.
Fact.
Yes, yes.
Wellness is more than just a number on the scale. How do you help clients focus on overall well-being?
Basically, it's, as I said earlier, a mental attitude, but seeing them every week and seeing them lose the weight. And I'm, it's very positive and very supportive. And they are physically seeing the difference. They're coming in and saying, oh my gosh, I had so much energy today. I've never had that before. I cannot believe it. And it was 2 things. It was taking off that extra weight, which is a stress on the body. And the other thing is taking my vitamins. I'm hearing more about that than I have anything else. And the other thing is, the number 1 killer is not nutrition or lack of, it is stress. If you have a stressful job, the CEO of Merrill Lynch worked out every day, ate like a Viking like he was supposed to, had a heart attack. So they went through his whole biological, and they found what it was stress. His stress level was off the chart, and it's like working under a pressure cooker. You're not going to last very much. So what he did is he mandated that for 1 hour every day that everybody had to go into his Zen room and close their eyes. They did nothing but just close their eyes. Their medical bills went down 52%. Of people getting sick and having issues with their nerves and that type of thing. So stress is important. If you have a stressful job, you need to come home, and they have a yoga breathing where you breathe in 4 through your nose, hold at 5, and blow out 6. I do that at every stoplight and every red light, just because it's good, and I can tell a difference in just, especially if things are going on at work or things that you can't control. Breathing is huge. It will calm you down. Your blood pressure will come down, and you will see the difference.
So we know stress can kill you. How does it affect the weight? How does it affect?
Well, because the body is in such stress, it doesn't burn like it's supposed to. And again, I'm not a doctor, but what it does is it's working so hard to keep the stress off of everything that it can't absorb anything. It's too busy handling your stress. Now, that's a non-medical way of telling it, but that's what it means. There's some technical terms in there that I'm sure that it has to do with hypotenuse and all kind of crazy things.
Breathing
is great.
Which I probably need to do a
Breathe
lot
in
more.
3, hold it 4, blow out 5.
I find myself holding my breath throughout the day. But
that's stress.
Besides breathing,
yes,
what
ma'am.
are some other things that too? Well, I think maybe exercise.
Exercise is way up there. Even if
walking,
they have proven. Just every time I read something, they say walking. Well, people, I can't get to a gym. Walk around your living room 15 times, 20 times. I've done that many times.
And what if you don't walk? What if you're not a...
Well, if you're not a walker, then you can do some isometrics.
Or you're stuck in your chair.
Well, then you do your butt flinches. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3, and you hold for 3 and let it go for 4. Isometrics. And I do that all the time. Actually, I'm doing it right now. So, there's not you can do something. You walk, you can do this, anything that's out of the
norm. I do that all day long at my desk.
Yes, just whatever it takes, just find something that works for you, that you feel. And if you have joint pain, then you need to get on turmeric or one of those wonderful anti-inflammatory, because the number one issue with the human body is inflammation. And think about it. Your finger swells, it touches this, it touches this, it touches it. Everything touches. So when you in constant inflammation, your body's fighting that all the time, and it can't be healthy because it's too busy fighting inflammation. Water and turmeric, onions, garlic, all those kind of good things are good for you on that.
And stay away from things that cause you stress.
Amen. If it's your job and you've been there for 40 years or 20 years, change your job.
Well, at this point, what's more retire.
Yes, retire. What's more important, staying healthy or making money where you're not going to be enjoying it because you're going to be in the hospital or you're going to be dead at an early age?
So, seniors. Retiring.
Yes.
One of the things would be to get rid of your stress. And then as a senior living, how can you tie all this wellness into their lifestyles?
It's a mindset. First of all, they're going to have to decide they want to do it. You know how it is. You can get a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And a lot of people, it's a everyday cognitive thing that you're telling yourself that you've got to do. And if it's hard, then find a partner that is over the top with it, and that'll rub off on you.
The smallest changes sometimes
make a difference.
Or start with the smallest change. Like it could just be, what time of day you leave.
Exactly.
It's just something that makes a change in your...
It does, and they've proven it. I mean, you can look at the statistics, but stress is way up there, number one. Not eating. Protein is another thing you need to eat. We're carnivorous. We're apex predators. You don't see lions and tigers eating lettuce. So you want to make sure you do protein. Sorry, I don't know.
And for the vegetarians, eat beans.
Eat eggs, but I know some are, and eggs are, and that's another misnomer. Eggs it makes a creature. It is a vitamin pill in a cap. You can eat eggs as much as you want, and they are absolutely healthy for you.
So many retirees want to improve their health, feel overwhelmed. First thing they should do, if it was you having someone come to you, what should I do? Where?
First of all, I find out what they're eating, and say, let's make some changes there. You can see a difference, and get out and walk, dance.
Not everyone's can.
Can
No,
get
I have some friends that are
wheelchair
using walkers.
walkers. Well, I think
wheelchairs.
I think that we're finding out that if you get the right minerals and the right vitamins, that a lot of that'll go away. I have some friends. I'm not saying it every time, but the body needs the reasons you're in that situation because it's lacking a vitamin or a mineral. And they're finding out that heredity does have a factor, but you absolutely can change heredity. So you're going to have, number one is attitude. You got to want to do it.
Got that.
And if you don't want to do it, then find a best friend or best buddy
I've
that's
got the
into it.
attitude down.
You do.
That's good.
And I would find a friend that has the same attitude and the same feelings and the same level. Say, you just want to walk. Nobody wants to get out there and run. They're finding that having a buddy really makes a difference. They encourage you. Friendship. You're talking, you're laughing.
And you don't have to be there. You can make a phone call.
Yes, you can.
Dial a friend.
I like that. Yes, ma'am, dial a friend. And I think that does make it. But the whole wellness genre is big, and everybody has their own opinion, and everybody has their own remedy. The bottom line is what works for you. What works for you might be totally different for me. And you might have to go through a 90-day of this works, that doesn't work. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. And just make sure that you're getting all of the nutrients that your body needs. That's number one. If it has it all, I promise you're going to be 100% better.
So bottom line is you tell your friends, start with your attitude. Go to your daily minerals
and vitamins. Water.
Am I missing something?
I think is it. Exercise. Like I said, you hit it on the head. The positive attitude. If you don't have that, then it doesn't work.
Well, Glenda, thank you so much for coming in.
Well,
and I have this lovely beach bag
for me,
which I think you.
I'm so excited. Thank you. And I love your podcast, and good luck with it. I think it's fabulous. What?
Koozie?
My own koozie?
Yes,
Yay.
for your mineral water, which I know you drink.
I'm drinking mineral water right now as we speak. Thank you.
And then just a quick little note to our sponsor.
Yes.
Retirement is your time to explore, relax, and enjoy every moment, whether you're traveling the world, perfecting your golf swing, fishing at sunrise, or embracing new hobbies. Retired Life Wish You Were Here is all about celebrating this exciting chapter. Now you can take that spirit with you everywhere with our exclusive Retired Life merchandise, designed for those who are living life to the fullest. Our collection features stylish and comfortable apparel, hats, mugs, and more, each showcasing the adventures and passions that make life amazing. It's great for yourself or any retiree in your life.
Yay.
Thanks for listening. And if you'll look right below, you can subscribe to our podcast. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.